If someone is looking for a roughing, then they will go for cavity mill, adaptive mill, and now there is one more option which is added in recent releases, that is called quick roughing. The name itself indicates it will generate a toolpath in a quick manner compared to the adaptive milling and cavity milling. We look into that operation today. And one more additional thing is like bottom up cutting was not there in 2512 or older versions in quick roughing. In 2606 that has been added. That's the announcement. We'll look into that. First we need to set MCS according to us. This is okay for me as I'm using a concept of main MCS and local MCS. Already I have defined workpiece. This is my final component and this is my raw material. Already I have specified. Then just look at this MCS local. Here I used local fixture offset 1. It means whatever output comes, it will give G54 and the values which are coming, which will come from this particular point, value of XYZ. Before wasting time, we'll quick move towards creating the operation. So in mill contour category, there is a quick roughing operation. This is recommended for removing large volume of materials for mold, cores, dies, casting and forgings. You can use on prismatic parts as well. This roughs a contoured shape by removing material in planar cut levels normal to a fixed axis. It's a 3-axis one. It will remove planar cutting. Here the minimum requirement is we need to specify the part and raw material blank. That is mandatory. We need to create a tool which I already created, 40 mm face mill. If you want to create, go for create. These two types of tools are supported. One is end mill, another is chamfer mill cutter. So I will go for end mill. I will take 40 mm and nose radius 2 mm, whatever you have, you can specify the length, flute length and everything you need to mention. So holder I will consider whichever there in the library. Brilliant drilling. I can take this. I created a tool. Now step over constant 50% it is kept. If you want you can increase or decrease, it's up to you. Here for this component I will use 60%. That's also okay. Generally people will keep either 40 or 60 depending on the component which they are machining. If it's aluminum or something similar to that, then you have to go for 60, and depending on the hardness you need to change the step over value. So in this scenario I will take 40%. And range depth mode you can give constant depth or number of levels. So I will keep this constant depth, and here you can see depth per cut 30% of flute. It's not 30% of tool, it's a 30% of flute. By default it is there. If you see here, my flute length will be 50 mm, not 75 mm is a total tool length, 50 mm. So 30% of 50 mm. Instead of that, if you want to give an exact value, then you change this to mm and specify your value. Suppose if I would like to go for 15 mm every time, and I can specify that. This top of flat value is like if you have done machining and at the top some less material is there also, if you wanted to machine, then you have to keep this top of flat faces on, and you need to mention what will be the minimum width it is required to machine. So then it will generate the toolpath. If there is that much material is available and the value is in a minimum width, there it will machine. So this is new. Intermediate levels bottom up cutting is new. In 2606 it is introduced. Before that it is not there. You can take between cut levels after last levels. This I already explained you in adaptive milling. If you want, you have a look, or else I will explain once again in a quick manner. So between cut level means whatever the depth we have specified here, depth per cut 15 mm, there it will go. Then the value which we specify here, step up distance, it will make those steps. The next option which is there is after last level, means it will go up to the entire depth. Then it will start making bottom up cutting. Most of the people will use this between cut levels, and step up distance you can mention here. Here I will specify step up distance is 2 mm, and minimum cut depth also I will keep 2 mm. You can keep whatever the material you want to keep as it is at the end of the bottom up cutting. You can see in the image there is a green color arrow which indicates the depth of minimum cut depth. Here also I would like to go for 2 mm. In geometry, if you want to keep some material on a part for finishing, then you need to specify part stock. Here I will mention part stock as 0.5 so that I can go for finishing. So while doing finishing, 0.5 mm material will be available on the component. And if you want to keep check stock, if you have considered any fixture or jigs that you would like to consider for this operation, you can specify it. Our best practice is the checks or fixtures we will consider in workpiece itself. So by default it will come if we consider there. Right now it will generate toolpath everywhere. If you want only local region wanted to machine, then you have to give trim boundaries. So sometime what happens if your table size is small or if your component is little bigger, that time if it is going at the extreme edge, that time if it is giving alarm of what you say the limit like x limit, y limit, those kind of stuff if you are getting, then if you are making two different operations like LHS, RHS, those type, if you want to split, then you have to use specified trim boundary. Or modifications came only in that small region itself, there only you wanted to concentrate, that time also you can use specified trim boundary. Here in process workpiece I will keep as use 3D. So whatever the raw material we have considered, that will be considered, and minimum IPW thickness if you specify. So if the material is more than that, then only it will generate the toolpath. If it is lesser than that, it will not recognize, or it will not generate toolpath over there. It is better you keep some value, whatever stock you have mentioned, that much value you give, so that your generation time will be lesser. If you give 0 means it will try to generate to toolpath everywhere. In tool axis, you can specify plus ZM is by default if it is there. Okay. If you are using 3+1 machine, that time you need to specify vector. Suppose if you are doing any side pocket, or if you want to rotate to a certain angle, that time you can change specify tool axis. You can generate a 3-axis toolpath or 3+1. It depends on your need. Right now I am happy with the 3-axis toolpath, so ZM I will keep. Feed and speed you need to specify. I will specify spindle speed as 3500 and feed as 2250. Just I am giving a random values. It all depends on again the type of tool, part and machine. Cut levels automatic I kept, so from top to bottom it will go. As you can see the extend path you can give up to the depth, and in strategy you can see there is a smoothing operation which is there in a quick roughing. You cannot see this in adaptive roughing. So smoothing operation is given here. So if you want to avoid jerk movements on the machine, then you can give this all passes, and the radius which is forming, that you have to specify from here. So this is one of the best option which is there in the quick roughing. I feel this is good, and you can avoid a small regions where your tool, this 70% of tool diameter, so below that or equal to that region, it will get avoided. You can do that machining in rest roughing. Some people will call it as rest milling. There you can do it for tool safety. In engage, you can give helical, ramp on shape, plunge depending on our need. So I will use helical itself. Retract I will keep 3 mm. Avoidance I will not specify anything. Post processor will take care. Why I am telling post processor will take care? Because homing and other codes are given at the end of the operation in a post processor. If you want to specify any start point, you can specify from here. And tolerances, as I'm using a roughing, you keep as a roughing and give tolerance according to that. If you keep lower tolerances, it will take time to generate the toolpath. So depending on your need, you need to keep. For roughing, I will keep some little bigger values like 30 micron or something. For finishing, we have to give small values. Toolpath has been generated. Now I wanted to see that by verifying display this IPW you need to turn on. You can increase or decrease the animation speed from here. Play. And I don't want to see these toolpaths which are created. I will turn off those and I can increase the speed. By using this operation, you can generate a toolpath quickly for bigger components. Like, share and subscribe.